Shuichi is a boy in his third year of high school who is quiet and shy. He is the main character of our story. He doesn't know why, but he'll have to say no to the chance to go to college. He is talking to his academic advisor, and the advisor asks him if he has found something he wants to do. Shuichi says, "Yeah, I guess," but he knows that was a lie in his head. He feels at ease when he tries to be the same as everyone else rather than some special wonder kid. Being himself is hard for him though, and he always is watchful of how he comes across. While he and his classmates are walking to gym class, he stops when he sees a dead dog. His friend asks him what's wrong, but he says it's nothing and brushes it off. After school, Shuichi notices that his eyes seem to be getting better for no reason. He sees a fire far away in the distance, so he goes to check it out. When he gets there, he gets the feeling that someone might be inside. Here, we meet our other main character, a young girl named Claire who is looking for her sister, who has apparently turned into a monster. Shuichi has a flashback to the dog he saw before and says, "There's a beast inside me." Now that is kind of a weird thing to say. Then, for the first time, he starts to change into this strange, monster-like form of a dog that gives him supernatural strength. But he thinks about all the things he could have changed into. So why a stuffed animal of all things? Irrespective, he pulls himself back to the task at hand and rescues Claire. He puts her on the grass outside when his animalistic tendencies start to take over. Just as it looked like he was about to molest her or even worse, the real him realizes what he was about to do and he goes back to being human. He leaves while Claire is still out cold, but he forgot to take his phone with him. The next day, Claire approaches Shuichi at his locker out of the blue. She says, "Is this your phone? I'd like to ask you a few questions if that's okay. I can't help but be interested in a monster like you," which stuns Shuichi. He later finds Claire on the roof so she can give him back his phone. When he got close to her, she said, "There you are, monster." Shuichi said he had no idea what she meant and just wanted his phone back. Claire says, "I guess I did something wrong," and puts the phone down for him to get. When he goes to get it, she kicks him off the roof, forcing him to turn into the monster dog. He jumps back up on the roof, where Claire tells him, "You look better this way." She then threatens to tell everyone that he's a monster if he doesn't tell her more about how he changed into this form. Shuichi panics and swears he doesn't know anything and that everything just happened out of the blue. During their walk home, Claire formally introduces herself and tells Shuichi that she is in her first year. This surprises Shuichi, who is 2 years older. She takes out a gold coin and asks him if he knows what it is. He says he's never seen it before, and Claire says it seems to have something to do with the monsters. When they get to Claire's house, she tells him that she is the only one who lives there. Then, right in front of Shuichi, she starts to undress, which makes him feel quite uncomfortable. That's teenage boys for you. During their conversation, a girl named Haikawa, who can also turn into a monster, shows up looking for the coin. Claire shows the coin to her and says, "Since you're looking for it, you must know what it is. Would you like to tell me?" The girl then grabs Claire, puts a knife to her throat, and tells her to give the coin to her. During all of this, Shuichi changed into the big monster dog and saved Claire. As Claire questions Haikawa, she starts to change as well. She even gets out of Shuichi's grip and gets away. But just as she was about to kill him, Claire sprays something in her eyes and tells Shuichi to kill her. Instead, he picks Claire up and runs away. We find out that Haikawa used to be a nice girl, but when she was kicked off the running team, she became desperate and sad because she lost the chance of a sports scholarship. After getting a coin and having her wish come true, she was able to return to the team. But she started to change and ended up with monster arms and legs. Hardly the look any self-respecting teenage girl would be after. If anyone saw her like that, she wouldn't be able to be on the team anymore. So she started desperately looking for another coin to get another wish so she could change again, and was even willing to kill for it. We also learned that this person, who calls himself Alien, a member of a highly advanced alien species, is looking for coins that were scattered after a crash, and if we bring them to him, he will grant seemingly any wish in return. The coins were his friends, who were other aliens who didn't have bodies and had turned themselves into data. When the coins go somewhere, they change into whatever beast-like form is best for the planet. When Haikawa loses Shuichi and Claire, she goes crazy because she needs the coin to make another wish, so she goes looking for them. In the meantime, Claire finds out that the back of the Shuichi stuffed dog body has a zipper. She thinks it must mean something and opens it, but when she looks inside, she is surprised to find nothing. Claire asks if she can go inside, But Shuichi doesn't like the idea. But Claire says it's worth a try and that the empty space inside means they have to become one. Whatever that means. She goes right in and starts to feel his emotions. She feels sad, angry, and anxious. But she tells him that he doesn't know how strong he is, so she will use that strength as something to focus on. Shuichi agrees. And then Haikawa comes along out of nowhere. She screams as she looks for Claire and also kicks the stuffed animal, not knowing that Claire has joined the animal inside. Claire tells Shuichi to focus on sending his strength to her and let her handle the movement. Then, they use their great speed and the power of the transformation to fight Haikawa. They finish her off with the gun they thought was a toy and just part of the costume. After a week, the incident is still bothering Shuichi because he didn't want to kill anyone. However, Claire says that things happen and that what Shuichi did was a perfectly valid act of self-defense. She also says that her sister once turned into one of these monsters and killed her own parents, but no one believed her. She tells Shuichi that if something bad happens, she'll die with him, to which he replies, "What if I want to die right now?" "All right," Claire says, and then she tries to jump to her death, but Shuichi saves her again. In Shuichi's arms, she tells him that fate brought them together and that she wants to see her sister again, which is why she's so interested in people who change into monsters. The next day, they go to the store to get food and water, and that night, they stay in an empty building near where Claire's parents died, waiting for someone to come who smelled like her sister. Shuichi finds a smell he knows after a while. Claire runs over with her camera and sees that it's her sister, whose name is Alina. Shuichi can smell blood coming from her uniform, and just taking a deep breath of it makes him feel sick. Claire says that they will grab her, and she also suggests that they shoot her so she can't move. Shuichi is shocked that Claire would do this to her own sister, but Claire says she has killed many people and is a murderous demon now. She goes into Shuichi, and they wait for Alina to pass. When she walks by, Claire tries to shoot her, but Shuichi stops her at the last second, so the bullet just misses her head by an inch. Alina then changes and goes behind them right away, but she doesn't seem to do anything and even starts to say she's sorry. She says, "You've come to kill me, haven't you? Would you mind if we did it somewhere else?" Then, they go to a quiet place where no one else is, and just as they are about to shoot Alina, a noise comes from inside Shuichi, which is made by Claire. When Alina hears this, she changes into her monster form and rips the stuffed animal's head off, revealing Claire inside. Claire goes crazy and tries to kill her sister Alina because she thinks that Shuichi is dead now. Claire asks Alina why she killed her parents, and Alina says it was because they were bad people. Alina gives her a coin and tells her to take it to a vending machine. There, she meets an alien who can change into any living thing. Because of this, he has forgotten what he looks like. After he fixes Shuichi, he also tells them that if they bring him 100 coins, they will get so much power that they could rule or destroy the world if they wanted to. This is why so many people are crazy about finding these coins. Shuichi acts more aggressively at school after hearing this. His classmates notice that he is more intense and doesn't wear glasses anymore, but no one asks why he has a huge scar around his entire neck. We know it's because Alina took his head off while he was changed. The next day, Shuichi and Claire look for the coins and run into this massive guy. He says that his name is Tadanori and that he doesn't want the coins. Instead, he just wants to fight collectors to see how strong he really is. Shuichi and Claire were able to beat Tadanori, which earned them Tadanori's respect. As a result, they decide to work together because Claire says that the three of them could find the coins more easily if they all work together. While they're talking, another monster pops up, but Tadanori cuts it in half quickly. Claire takes the dead monster's cell phone and finds out that he was a stalker who took pictures of other coin gatherers and threatened to reveal their true identities if they didn't pay him. Thanks to this, they find a group of coin gatherers who are trying to keep the coins from falling into the wrong hands. Sayaka is the leader of the group. Yoda is a young man. Miku is the girl who can't be seen. Eso is a young boy. Chihiro is a young girl, and Akachi is the cameraman. To join the group, they have to make a deal with the leader. They have to wear a choker made of the leader's hair, and if they betray her, they will die. Sayaka then tells them they are looking for Claire's sister. In the meantime, Shuichi makes friends with Chihiro. Chihiro wanted to be a vet, so when she turned into a monster, she grew fox ears that let her hear and feel how animals feel. They go to the forest together to look for her wallet, which has her ID in it and could get her into trouble if the wrong person finds it. She goes inside Shuichi to save time and avoid getting tired. The cameraman, who is in love with her, gets jealous and follows them, but eventually loses sight of them. He goes back to the base and tells the leader that Shuichi left with Chihiro. Since it's been a long time and they still haven't come back, they go look for them, but when they find them, they're both unconscious. We find out that, while the two were looking for the wallet, they ran into a blonde girl who changed into a monster and literally crushed them. However, Shuichi and Chihiro merge thanks to his ability to change into another monster, and after a hard fight, they almost killed the blonde girl, but Alina saved her just in time. The next day, the group goes to look for the alien spaceship, which is where most of the coins are said to be. However, another group of gatherers sets up a trap for them. They try to get away from them, but one that looks like a centipede catches up with them and starts bothering the leader. Yoda goes into savage mode and breaks the centipede jaw, which saves Sayaka. They keep running until their leader and the rest of his group catch up with them. They tell them that they will kill everyone if they don't collect coins for him, but if they do, one of them must die for hurting his centipede. Then, they start making a plan and ask this guy to use his power to make some flowers grow that, when burned, make poisonous smoke that kills not only the leader of the bad gatherers, but also his friends. Then we see Alina telling her group about an old friend who has collected 100 coins but is protecting the spaceship from other collectors. We also find out that Shuichi and Alina were dating when they were kids, and that his old classmates called Hanako, Ako, Kado, and Naado were all best friends. However, Ako killed herself when she was older because she couldn't stand her life. Hanako was the first to find out about it, and since she was also the first to find the alien, she came up with the idea of the coin hunt game. In exchange, the alien let her take on Ako's appearance so that no one would notice that Ako had killed herself. She did this because she thought no one would notice she was gone. However, Kado did notice because he loved her, so he started looking into her disappearance. At first, he thought Hanako killed Ako so she could become her and be with her boyfriend, so he killed her. Later, he found out that Ako killed herself, so he felt very sad and guilty about killing Hanako under false pretenses. Kado then used a coin to ask Alien to bring her back to life in some way. After she was brought back to life, she turned into a dangerous monster who wanted to destroy the world. She became the guardian of the ship, killing anyone who tried to get 100 coins. Also, Kado's deadly connection to Hanako makes him kill anyone who is related to them, which is why Alina erased all of Shuichi's childhood memories. We also find out that Hanako killed her parents and then wanted to kill Shuichi. Since she loves Shuichi, she erased his memories to leave him out of everything. Here, we can see that Chihiro and Alina agreed to give the coin so they could end the game, but then Shuichi shows up. While Claire was looking into the past, she went to their old school and found a stuffed animal that looked just like Shuichi's transformation. This made him remember everything, which made him angry. They start fighting until Hanako's ghost shows up and does what she couldn't do before, so Alina erases Shuichi's memory again to break the bond. After that, Shuichi and Claire decide to finish the game with Alina. The end. Thanks for watching. Take care and see you soon. Also, subscribe.